Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. That's Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, and I'm Tyler Merkovich, bringing you our 2010 season preview for the Seattle Seahawks, coming off a disappointing 5-11 year. Jim Mora Jr. gets the exit. Mike Holmgren is out. Pete Carroll just got a USC in time. He's now in Seattle, making an abundance of changes. And of course, Matt Hasselbeck was banged up last year and the offensive line fell apart, but he's back. They bring in Charlie Whitehurst. Is he the next Hasselbeck? Hasn't taken a snap. He's already 28 years old. Who knows what's expected out of Whitehurst? Maybe Hasselbeck will get injured and Whitehurst might get some playing time final this year, but he hasn't took a snap in the NFL yet. And at running back, they tried to pick up Lindell White. That failed already, but they have Justin Forsett, who broke out, and they pick up Leon Washington, who's a question mark, coming off a very serious leg injury. Owen Schmidt is a nutbag coming at fullback. No, I made that in a good heart. He's a grease.
You need crazy guys at fullback.
Yeah, you need football players like that. I want him on my team blocking for me. I look comfortable with him in the huddle. But talk about the QB running back situation.
Yeah, the quarterback situation. If Matt Hasselbeck is healthy, he's your guy. I like Matt Hasselbeck a lot. I love his moxie. I love his leadership. He's a cool guy. Guy that I would play for as a running back. I like a guy like Matt Hasselbeck, but he has to hold off Whitehurst. The running back situation has another battle between Jones as well as Justin Forsett, and also Leon Washington to the mix if he's healthy. But that's a battle to watch too. Those two guys battling for the starting spot. They may share carries. Pete Carroll loves to use tandem, so let's see how those guys operate. Schmidt leading the way is going to be outstanding.
Well, they were after Brandon Marshall. They didn't want to pay him the money though, so they get Golden Tate to complement T.J. Hushmanzada, Deion Branch, but look out for Deion Butler out of Penn State. He could also break out. He could be a good guy with Golden Tate also. John Carlson coming on as a tight end, and Chris Baker they pick up from the Jets.
They look for Carlson to be a star this year because the reason why they bought over Baker so they can move Carlson around on the offensive side of football. So he's going to have a lot more big plays this year for the Seahawks. Tate is going to be a special player, guy that can run the in and rounds and also get deep, and also has tremendous run after the catch ability. But a guy I want you guys to keep an eye on is rookie Mike Jones, 6'3", 221, a guy that they were really high on, big physical receiver. Keep an eye on him during the preseason. He can surprise, and it's going to help out. They need that unit to tighten up with Branch and Hushmanzada out there.
Well, this offensive line really fell apart last year. 26th rush offense in the league, not typical since the Sean Alexander days. And in the red zone, horrible, 30th in the league, under 40% conversion to TD percentage. So they draft Russell Okung very early. He's going to play left tackle right away. Ben Hamilton at left guard. Chris Spencer is a solid center. Max Unger, guy they drafted last year out of Oregon, looks like he'll start at right tackle. And Sean Locklear, injury prone, but right tackle is his spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement on the offensive line. You mentioned Locklear to right tackle. You also mentioned Unger to right guard, and Spencer to center. So they're still looking for more depth, but a lot of movement should help those guys out, help keep Matt Hasselbeck upright, because that's the key. And Okung is going to be a stud. He has big shoes to fill, but I think he has the talent to do it. Outstanding tackle prospect coming out of Oklahoma State.
And on the defensive side of the ball, Lawrence Jackson was one of the DNs. He'll team up with Chris Clemens. Look out for Dexter Davis. He's another defensive end they can play. He's a rookie. E.J. Wilson also, so they needed depth there. They got them because they got rid of Darryl Tapp also. Patrick Kearney, who knows about him? Brandon Mebane, defensive tackle. Colin Cole, Red Bryant, Craig Terrell. What do you think about this unit?
You got to get Red Bryant on the field at all times. This is a beast of a player coming out of Texas A&M. 6'4", 330. They're going to play him a little bit at defensive end this year, but the question mark I have is those DNs. You got rid of your two top guys, but you got rid of one top guy and Kearney retired. But is Lawrence Jackson ready to be the star? He has to come off the end. Clemens has to be ready to come off the end. They have to do an outstanding job getting pressure on the quarterback, because that's what they struggled with last year. And if they can't get pressure on the end, that could be a problem. Also, keep an eye on defensive end Nick Reed, another guy that can play as well. So they're going to have to really, that's going to be one position to watch.
Nick Reed is a big pickup from Oregon. He really fits that Seattle mold as a defensive end. But they only had 28 sacks last year. They're tied for 26, so they need pressure. Linebacker, pretty good. Of course, they draft Aaron Curry, which they're high on. Lofa Tatupu has been a mainstay. Leroy Hill also since the Super Bowl days. And depth, I don't know about that. David Hawthorne they have, but their first three is pretty solid, I think.
I love their linebacker. They got a really impressive group. Curry is going back to his more natural strong side position, so
He's going to break out this
year.
year.
He's going to be a break because he's playing on the strong side now over the tight end, so he's going to be another physical force. Tutupu is healthy. You get him back, a physical player. Leroy Hill is another guy that can run and hit. He has to get his off-the-field issues cleared up, but he's going to be fine. And keep an eye also
undrafted rookie free agent
Joe Powlek from Baylor, another guy that can make plays, make tackles. He's not as athletic, but he's a guy that's going to help out on special teams. But they have some solid depth. You look at Will Herring and David Hawthorne, very solid linebackers. They could probably start for some teams in the league, but they're backing up in Seattle. So you have a lot of depth at their linebacking core. I love their linebacking core for Seattle.
Secondary was a big issue last year. Of course, 30th ranked pass defense, over 245 yards per game they gave up, and that was kind of surprising, even though Marcus Trufant and Josh Wilson were up and coming, and Kelly Jennings wasn't that bad either. They really couldn't get a rush in the quarterback, which was a problem, of course, so maybe that kept them out to dry a little bit. That's why they draft Walter Thurman. They draft Cam Chancellor, who they already signed, that strong safety to back up Jordan Bobineau, but the huge pickup was Earl Thomas. He'll start right away at free safety. So you have a lot of names in this secondary. If they could get a rush and improve on that sack total of 28, that's really going to help these great players.
I love the additions they've made with this team. You look at Walter Thurman, a guy that was flying around the Pac-10 making plays. You also look at Cam Chancellor, a guy that was a fierce hitter in the ACC for Virginia Tech. And you also look at the perfect corner safety combo in Earl Thomas. The guy's going to make a lot of plays, a lot of interceptions. So they're going to be fine. Also look at Kelly Jennings, a guy they drafted that has improved every year. He's gotten better every year, and that's what you want out of a draft choice. So you got Jennings to compete with all those guys. Trufant is back healthy, so he should be back to his Pro Bowl form. So I really love the fact that they got all those guys. And you look at Wilson, another cornerback, makes a lot of plays.
Trufant gave up a bunch of touchdowns
because he was hurt. He was hurt. So I give him the benefit of the doubt. He's going to be back now. So Wilson again makes a lot of plays. So I love that secondary now. It's going to be fun to watch. Pete Carroll's going to figure out a way to get pressure up front and help out that secondary because they can catch interceptions. They have a lot of ball hawks back there. Seahawks in particular.
Absolutely. Special teams, Olindo Mare, of course, getting thrown under the bus by their previous head coach last year. John Ryan is their punter, and their kick return game was suspect. Punt returns, they were 19th, tied for 21st in kick returns. Leon Washington kick return, and Golden Tate a punt return. So special teams average.
Yeah, but don't forget about Thurman, and also don't forget about Forsett. Those two guys can also return as well. The special teams unit has to improve, but the return units are going to be fine. The coverage units, I think, is a question mark. They have to really cover better kicks. But I think special teams overall, they're going to have at least 3 or 4 returns for a touchdown this year.
Well, I mean, my big concern about this team is running back position and depth on the O-line. But they have Matt Hasselbeck, and they have weapons for him in the pass game. You got Carlson, now you bring Tate, who I think can be very versatile. And at their D-line, that comes around. I think Seattle, I think they can overtake San Fran just by a little bit in Pete Carroll's first year. But that's going to be a good fight between San Fran and Seattle. What do you think?
Yeah, you look at that defensive-minded head coach in Pete Carroll, so the defense is going to be right. He's going to get the production out that defense line that they really need. Offensively, I think they're going to have to utilize their running back by tandem, but I think Forsett is a guy that provides shiftiness. Julius Jones is more of a one-cut guy downhill, but as long as you keep Matt Hasselbeck upright, the Seahawks have a shot.
Yeah, their health is a huge issue, but Jeremy Bates, a great offensive mind, and he has the weapons to work with in Seattle.
It'll be fine.
For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NFL or check out our YouTube channel at youtube.com/footballgameplan.